Hello again, how are we all doing? So today I wanted to talk about VPNs and why you might want to use one, what they are, and what particular service I'm using, which I'm sure you can guess from the title of the video is CyberGhost, why I selected that particular product. So starting from the beginning, what is a VPN, which stands for Virtual Private Network? Quite a techie, geeky term, isn't it? But it's applicable to most people and most companies, and anyone who's generally surfing the internet might have the requirement for a VPN. So it's a term you should, try and get familiar with, in my opinion. So what a virtual private network does, it essentially connects your computer to a remote location. So over the years, a VPN has been commonly used in business for when they're working outside of their office and perhaps their business has an on-premise server and they want to gain access to the resources on that server when they're outside the office. So they would commonly use a VPN connection to connect into that network. These days, it's more common to use a VPN though for security, because a VPN essentially what it can be used for is to encrypt all of your internet traffic. It might be that it allows you to stay anonymous online, so you can be untraceable. Begs the question, if you're desperate to be untraceable, what you're up to, of course, but that's probably a different conversation for a different day. And it allows you to, if you're on a public network, it allows you to have your session and your internet traffic on that network remain private. Even though you're on a public network, you can then use a VPN to create your own little tunnel that's just private to you, so anybody else using that public Wi-Fi can't gain access to what it is you're doing. So it is a really, really good security mechanism, and it's something which should be strongly considered. For example, if you use some sensitive resources, and let's face it, most of us do, that could just be your email, but it might be doing internet banking or using cloud-based accountancy software. I strongly recommend you never use that directly on public Wi-Fi. If you are on a public Wi-Fi network, you should definitely connect to a VPN before you access them resources. I would never do it kind of naked, so to speak, on the public Wi-Fi. That was a really bad move. So if you have previously been doing that, don't. You don't know who's watching, you don't know who's intercepting that traffic and therefore gonna get into your systems and account stuff. So don't do that. So yeah, a VPN is handy for allowing you to stay anonymous and safe and encrypt all of your traffic. What I mean by encrypt your traffic, it means make it unreadable to anybody else. So if somebody does come along and try and intercept the traffic which your computer's generating back and forth between the systems you're accessing, with it encrypted, it will just appear to be gobbledygook. I'm not going to sit here and say it will never ever be broken into, because there's always new technology, there's always new methods, and there's always a way in. What I'm saying is you are significantly decreasing your chances of any security compromise by using a VPN. So once you've decided, okay, maybe I do need a VPN then to be secure, what service shall I use? There is lots and lots out there to choose from. Clearly, I'm going to elaborate a bit more on CyberGhost shortly, but there are lots of other providers out there. I'll go through the reasons I went for CyberGhost, but there is loads to choose from. Off the top of my head, there's like Nord, who I'll talk about in a second. There's CyberGhost VPN. There's sometimes VPN software available for your antivirus software. So there is lots to choose from, and they'll all have different prices and different features and limitations on them as well. So do check that out. So when I was considering what service I was going to use for my VPN connection, the very first requirement for me, other than obviously all the security stuff, is compatibility with a Chrome Pixelbook, which is what I use for my day-to-day operations. It had to be compatible with that first and foremost, because I use that particular device an awful lot. So whatever I went for needed to be Chrome OS compatible. So that was the first tick for me. Then I wanted it to have unlimited traffic. I spend a lot of time online, as I'm sure you can imagine, and I didn't want to be limited that I could only have like 100 meg or 200 meg of internet traffic going through the VPN. So I went for an unlimited package, so I don't even have to worry or consider or think about that. And I also went for a particular package which I think allows me to put the VPN on to 5 devices. It may be a bit more than that, but that's still fine for me because I've only got 3 or 4 devices I'd ever want to use the VPN on anyway. So that's perfectly fine. So my key requirements was obviously the security, the reliability, the unlimited data, and also being able to put it on all the devices I wanted to put it on to without any additional costs. Now, one thing to note here, I did do my homework into the various VPN providers out there. I read other reviews, I took all that into consideration. The key thing to think about is whether you feel comfortable with whoever you've selected as your VPN provider, because in my opinion, there's still scope for the people who produce the software and produce the VPN service to be able to see your traffic. So you've got to make a judgment call. Do I trust this provider to not access my traffic and allow me to remain anonymous? I can hardly say that word. And make sure you're comfortable with that. There has been recent stories in the press over before Christmas about a particular VPN service where it was found to be untrustworthy and kind of data may have been accessed straight away. That particular company, I wrote them off as a possibility straight away. I felt comfortable with CyberGhost VPN. It had really good reviews. It had all the credentials I was looking for as somebody who works in the IT business. So I was completely comfortable with it. So make sure you are happy with it. And the final factor is, of course, cost as well to all this. They will completely vary in cost, maybe from just, £5 or £10 right up to £50, £60 upwards. I got a deal at the time with CyberGhost VPN because I got it in their kind of Halloween promotion because they are a ghost and all that. You see, you get it. It's a big deal for them. So I got it for 30 quid for an annual license. So 30 quid for 12 months use of their service across the devices I wanted to use it on with the unlimited traffic, which I thought was an absolute bargain. So do consider that as well. I thought 30 quid for what I needed was superb. So I signed up and away we go. And I've been using it since around about October time. And it's absolutely brilliant. It's so easy to use. One little button to click on to say, yes, connect me to the VPN. And away I go. And I've got that layer of security then on whatever it is I'm doing being encrypted and protected from the public and the outside world, which is great. Now, there are a couple of shortcomings that I've come across as well. Now, this isn't necessarily a CyberGhost VPN issue. This is a VPN overall issue. So just to be clear on that, is there are particular locations I go to where I can't connect to the VPN. And that is because the service provider has put a block on VPN traffic on their network, which some hotels do, which some internet cafes do, and which some public Wi-Fi does. So, for example, I go to an unnamed restaurant which has golden arches for its logo, and I will regularly go there and have a coffee and do some work. When I'm there, I can't connect to the VPN because they just block that traffic. It's not a CyberGhost thing. It's an overall thing. It doesn't matter which provider I was using, I would still be blocked. So when I'm there, I just do kind of casual web surfing, let's say, where I'm not doing anything sensitive. So do bear that in mind. There will be little limitations, and you've got to figure these things out and decide what works for you and what doesn't work for you as to what you go with. One thing, just going back to your potential providers, most of them will give you a trial. So sign up for the trial, test it out, go and find out where it works, where it doesn't work. Find out all the limitations of that particular product before making your final decision is my advice there. So yeah, there are limitations. Also, I've got one of these mobile hotspots for Wi-Fi as well, and I have intermittent issues connecting to the VPN on that as well. It's not CyberGhost, it's my device, so do bear that in mind. But at most other places, it's great, and it does what it says on the tin, so to speak, even though it doesn't come in a tin because it's a virtual thing. So yeah, please do check out CyberGhost VPN. Check out all the other VPN providers as well, for that matter, and just find something. But do consider using it if you want to give yourself an extra layer of protection. Another tick towards being secure and compliant, again with things like Cyber Essentials, which I've talked about in the past. This goes a long way towards them kind of things, and it's just a good thing to do. It's good practice and it doesn't cost a lot of money either, so do check it out. Okay, so that's it for today. I have banged on an awful lot there for about 10 minutes. If you have found this video of any benefit and taken some advice away, please do smash the like button. It really, really, really helps with our channel. So please do smash the like button. Do subscribe as well. We're pushing out new content all the time. And do check out the links below to hook up with me on Instagram and LinkedIn and Twitter. All right, that's it for today. Thanks very much. See you soon.